Thundercats!
Ho!
I don't think, we've been saying that for every episode, but I don't think it's been more appropriate than it is today,
Man.
JP. Wow. Today we are truly, truly blessed to have a very, very special guest today. And I've got goosebumps. You know what I mean? Like it's
me too.
It's always great to talk with the Lord of the Thundercats. But being able to have him here on the channel is a true blessing. And to kick off the new year, what a way to kick this off. We already got a couple of comments for already. Arasung 3166. Happy New Year to you too, Arasung. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And Jordan from Canada, we want Larry.
Yes.
We want Larry. We want Larry. Yes, we do want Larry. And, he will be joining us momentarily. So
we got an imposter Lionel on here.
He just jumped in. There he is, Lionel from Thundera. Oh, bring out the man that gave me life. Yes, of course. We're definitely going to do that. And just momentarily, we're going to give a drum roll and get him in here. But we wanted to thank everybody for joining us. So Larry is gonna come in. If you have questions for Larry, please put them in the chat. We really would appreciate it. We might not get to everybody. We do have a limited amount of time with Larry, but we'll try to get to everyone's questions if we possibly can. So today we're going to be talking about a couple of things. One of them specifically being that the role-playing game, which is being kickstarted right now, and it's well funded. It's I think they've hit all of their goals, right? Right, JP? I think. It's pretty crazy with this.
Amazing.
With this one, and So guys, we'll definitely be touching on this. But without further ado, we just wanted to give you guys a bit of a preamble before we started, and we'll get to a few more comments just before we bring Larry in. The Masked Figure Collector 6176. Hi from the UK. Hope you and your family are well. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you coming in and joining us. The Thundercats is part of my childhood. It's part of all our childhoods, brother. Thank you so much for being here. I joined the project for the RPG. Thank you for your support.
Awesome.
You're going to make this happen. It's going to be a great, great project. But I think we've left everybody in suspense long enough. So without further ado, guys, we do present to you the Lord of the Thundercats, the man himself. He has brought us so much joy over the years. And of course, he's the Lord of the Thundercats twice over because he did play Claudus in the most recent edition of the Thundercats. Please help us give a huge warm welcome to our special guest, Larry Kenney, everybody, the Thundercat himself, Lionel. Larry, welcome to the show.
Hey, guys. Hey, everybody. Thank you for having me.
Oh, my gosh. It's so exciting to have you here, Larry.
It's pretty exciting stuff, right? With the game coming out and all that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we both had the opportunity and pleasure of meeting Larry in person, and being able to catch up again. So, Happy New Year, Larry! We hope. How's your New Year started so far?
Well, that's great. Well, it's great because I had the flu for a couple of days, but I guess most of us have had that.
I think all three of us have had the flu, so you're in good company.
I ain't no better than the rest of them.
Oh my goodness!
But I feel good now.
Speaking of that. Yeah, but we're glad you're on the mend,
Thank you.
Looks like a lot of people. Baby Lionel says hi. Jordan from Canada is giving us a round of applause, and Asarong says, "I have holiday pass blues." Yeah, we're all a little bit in the funk, but huge shout out to everybody. Thank you again for being here and joining us for our special guest Larry Kenney. Three's a bit of a crowd, so I'm going to hang back. I'm going to do a little bit of moderation, take a look at some of the comments. Guys, please, if you have comments, please put them in the chat. We will get to them if we have a chance, and hopefully Larry will be able to answer a few of them. But for now, let's sit back and have a wonderful conversation between JP of Thundercats Classics and, of course, Larry Kenney. Guys, take it away and have a good time. We'll talk to you guys.
Thank you.
All right, Larry. So, what a way to start the year, honestly. It's so awesome and humbling. The folks at Dynamite Comics reached out to me and they're like, hey, you want to help promote the Thundercats RPG? And and talked to Larry, I was like, hell yeah, let's do this.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, so super exciting, man. Glad to start the year really strong. As you know, Thundercats has become like a worldwide phenomenon. At this point, we're looking at 40 years behind us of history and great memories. And it's just incredible to see how much love there is across the world for the brand, for the IP, for the cartoons, for you, sir, and your talents, and your voice, and bringing that character to life for us, and having these fun memories as kids. It's just it's amazing. It feels like there's certain properties in history that have that longevity where it can preserve its magic and purpose for so many years, and it's so awesome to see how there's so much love for Thundercats still today, and especially right now. Look at this amazing role-playing game. Who would have ever thought that we would have a Dungeons and Dragons style tabletop role-playing game based on Thundercats? It's amazing.
Yeah.
So, before anything, like, I wanted to get a feel for you as far as, like, did you ever play Dungeons and Dragons when you were younger? Like, have you ever delved in that kind of world or anything?
I never have. No, of course, I have kids that played it, and now I got grandkids. I know one of my grandkids plays it or used to. But no, I never did play it. I was too busy doing Thundercats, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but what's really crazy about this is, with the Dynamite comics out right now and in full force, there's been like a very unique and different narrative as far as the story of the Thundercats and, their voyage from Thundera to Third Earth. There's been a lot of changes, which, quite honestly, I've been surprised to see how much range and liberty the Thundercats brand has given Dynamite Comics, right, to experiment and change the narrative. And I was wondering, like, how do you feel about, or have you read any of the current comics, or have you been like gotten up to date? Has anybody kind of addressed what the storyline and the direction has gone in those comics for you?
Oh yeah, well I've been signing them at the last couple of Comic Cons. They came out a few months ago. At least I got my copies a few months ago, and I've been busy ever since then signing them. I know I signed how many did I sign? 500 at home. Oh. They sent me a piece of paper that's going to be like in the back cover of the great big book. You guys will talk about that. I don't know all the details, but there's a great big rule book, I guess, or an overall book about what you get when you buy this, what you bought when you bought this thing, what you got. And there's several different covers of the comic books that have come out lately, and some of them are limited editions, and they're just fantastic. And I can't wait to see how you play the game, because man, from reading online, the Kickstarter, they explain everything, and it sounds like a fantastic game. In fact, as I was reading the beginning of it, I thought this sounds like Dungeons and Dragons, although I didn't play it, as I told you, but I remember how complex it was, and how it's like a whole world into itself, I guess, a whole universe. And that's the way this thing is with Thundercats, it seems to me.
Yeah, no, it's very interesting because they're basically presenting this world, right, of Third Earth, which we are familiar as far as what we've seen in the cartoons, but then now in the comics, they've expanded so much on the narrative, and there's other areas of Third Earth that are being uncovered that were never, people were never privy to in the cartoons and stuff like that. So there's this huge immersive world that you can kind of play in and create all these adventures, and either be mutants or be Thundercats or create your own unique Thundercat, so it's really exciting, especially for Thundercats fans. I personally haven't played Dungeons and Dragons since I was in 10th grade, but believe me, I'm gonna sit down and reminisce and play the Thundercats RPG, because so much love that I have for the property. it's definitely something that I want to explore. Not that
Sure.
I'm going to probably spend hours and hours on end, because at the end of the day, we have jobs, we're parents, but definitely want to explore, what it is to be
Yeah,
that kind of immersive game.
sure.
It's going to be very exciting. What we can do now is we can take a quick look at the Kickstarter, and then we'll see if we have any questions here in the chat, and then we'll talk a little bit more about you, sir, and your wonderful contributions to pop culture. All right.
Sure.
So let's see here. So the role playing game that we have here. We can go.
Here it is.
So I'm going to play this video.
So there's not much audio on this because it's being played through the player, but we can see a lot of the different as Larry mentioned earlier. It's a very in-depth type of role playing game, very much like Dungeons and Dragons.
Mhm.
So, and I believe there's a question that we'll get to in a second, but I do believe that it is compatible with the Dungeons and Dragons system. So, if you wanted to incorporate characters from Thundercats into the Dungeons and Dragons role playing episode, you can actually do that.
I think I think I just read this just before we started the thing, and that kind of made me go, "Wow! You can play it along with Dungeons and Dragons, or it somehow incorporates both worlds." I guess
it's incredible, and I just wanted to jump in and say that.
Yeah, so the role playing game is really exciting. As you can see, there's a lot of different stats and characters. A lot of things are mimicking the skeletons and bones of the Dungeons and Dragons type of rules. In the sense of classes, like there's clerics and there's warlocks, just like there is in Dungeons and Dragons, but there's going to be characters like that from the world of Third Earth. So it's definitely very interesting as far as like an expansive type of world to explore. One thing that I've always been wanting, aside from this, which hopefully it'll follow suit after the success of this game, is an actual video game. I believe that is something that a lot of people would definitely appreciate and love. And that brings the question to me is, if there was a video game, would you consider doing the voice of Lion-O for the video game as well?
Oh, of course I would. Yeah, sure.
I think
I'm available.
That would be iconic. Yeah, I'm sure. And as far as pop culture is concerned, there's another very iconic property out there, which is Master of the Universe. And Mega J and I have been talking a lot about it lately because the new feature film is coming out this year. Yeah. And quite honestly, we're all crossing our fingers and toes that this movie is successful, because we believe that if the movie is successful, then that will really open up the possibilities for a feature film for Thundercats. And I believe, the way Hollywood works right now is they're trying not to take as many risks. So they're probably using, the Masters of the Universe movie as the experimental lab rat per se. And hopefully, if done well, Thundercats will follow suit. And I'm just curious, as far as, since you've been involved with the cartoons and everything, how would you think it would be more of a better direction as far as the movie? Do you think it would be better for it to be live actors wearing costumes and maybe using like, organic makeup and stuff like that? Or do you think they should use like technology and CGI to portray these characters?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I mean, I'm just a dumb actor, I don't know about that technical stuff,
Come on, I'm sure you watch movies, right? Like, do you like these kind of like Avatar movies or stuff like that? Or do you lean more towards, the traditional actors in front of the camera?
Whatever they do with it, I hope they stay true to the the code of Thundera, truth, justice, honor, and loyalty, and of course, whoever makes a movie about it, when they do, and I hope they do, they'll be adding things that maybe some people don't like, I would assume. I mean, no, I didn't want him to do that or whatever, but I don't know why I'm being negative, but I'm sure they'll do a great job on it. And I can't wait to see one. I've been waiting for 40 years. I certainly would be open to being a part of it. Yeah. All they have to do is call my agent.
I just wanted to jump in really quick and ask this because, related to that question, Larry, the reason I think JP and I would wonder if you might be interested, like in which version of an actor would be, whether it's a digital actor or whether it's a live action type of prosthetic idea, is because that might open the door for you to come in and just lend your voice again to a more CG version of something on screen.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So fingers crossed is what I'm trying. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. So.
Yeah, I got you. They wouldn't use me for a live action. Sure. I mean, I still have the leotard, but it's not a pretty sight.
You could play an elder Lion-O. You know what I mean?
I could do that too. Yeah. Very old.
So let me ask you this. So we do the fan cast, and we were talking about this recently, and we were curious who Lion-O himself thinks would be suitable to play Lion-O on the big screen. So who would you fan cast as a good selection actor to portray Lion-O on the big screen?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I remember many years ago, 10 or 15 years ago, maybe more, there started to on Facebook and on the internet, there started to show up people were already imagining Thundercats as a movie. And I remember one time they had a very professionally made trailer for it, and Brad Pitt was Lion-O. Did you guys ever see that?
Oh yeah, the fan that fan trailer that they did. Yeah. And I think they had like Vin Diesel as Panthro. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. For me particularly, I feel like the person that has like the facial features and the look and could probably pull it off with the physicality as well is Henry Cavill. I think Henry Cavill would be perfect.
Yeah, I think you're right. I saw him on the Golden Globes last night, I think.
Because he's not Brad Pitt's a little older.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's really doing a lot of physical stuff now. Henry Cavill is just like in his prime, Yeah. And he's got the physicality to be a heroic character on screen.
Yeah. I hadn't given it any thought, but just now it's popping into my mind as Jason the guy who played Aquaman.
Jason Momoa?
Yeah. He'd make a good Lion-O, I think.
My thing with Jason, I love him. He's great and everything. My thing with Jason is that no matter who he plays, he's always got that scar down his eyebrow. You know what I mean? Because it's part of him.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's like you see a movie and it's like, for example, back in the day, the Joker in the 1966 series, he never wanted to shave his mustache, so they had to put the makeup over his mustache. So it's one of those things where it's like this embedded code of the actor that no matter who he portrays, it has to like resemble the actor in one way or another. So but he would be a cool choice. I would probably see Momoa as like a Mumra as far as like playing the physicality like in a suit, because I feel like I want to see like the real, like the expression and the long mane of hair. Momoa is a little more like, he's Samoan, so he has more like dreadlocks and stuff like that. His hair is a little different, but I think he would look cool too.
Sure.
Who knows? What about Panthro? What do you think would be a good Panthro?
Oh gosh, you guys are killing me here. I I got to tell you, I am not that up to date on movie stars and things like that these days. I mean, I go to movies and all that, but I'm not like I used to be into them, and I would know all the stars' names and things like that. Well, let's see, Panthro. Who would be a good Panthro? Morgan Fairchild. Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman.
It's a joke anyway. No, not more. But
well, the voice would be perfect.
It would be, and of course he's I think the greatest black actor there's been in ever, maybe, and maybe not ever, but I was kidding anyway. But I don't know who are some young black. See, I can't think of it right now.
Well, Mega J and I were talking about Panthro, and we were thinking about Idris Elba.
Idris Elba, I like him. My wife's crazy about him.
He's a great actor, but he's kind of tall, and Panthro is not taller than Lionel. So, there's obviously there's camera tricks and angles and stuff like that they could play with. But Idris Elba is a fantastic actor, and I think he could pull off the physicality.
Oh, yeah.
So really quick, Larry, just since we're on that topic anyway, we're going to get to some questions right now as well.
Okay, sure.
Since we have a little bit of time, I did want to ask, did you ever meet Earl Heyman, like who voiced the original Panthro, Papa Huxtable?
Did I ever meet him?
Yeah, did you ever meet Earl?
I did 130 episodes of Thundercats with him.
Oh, I didn't see. I always thought that you guys did separate recordings.
Oh, no. No, we did it back then. It's done differently now, but back then we did. Whenever we recorded, we were all together in the studio, all together, all five of us. And it was a great way to work, I think, because it's an ensemble situation there, and you can play off each other. To me, acting is just really reacting. Responding in kind to what somebody is saying. And or doing, and I loved it when we were all there together. It was more fun too. Got some great outtakes, as you guys probably know.
Yeah. Are those real? Those are real outtakes.
Yeah, they're real.
Oh yes, they are. But today, for some reason, now like I'm going in tomorrow for I'm working on the Pokemon Horizons now.
Oh wow!
I play a character named Ludlow on that, and I'm working now too on Teen Titans Go. Play Chief.
Wow.
And in both those situations, and the way the business is now, when I go in tomorrow, they've booked me for a certain couple hours, and I will be in the booth alone, and director will be in Los Angeles, and somebody else will be in Chicago, but it'll just be me. I'll be the only actor there. And then when I finish, there'll be another actor who'll come in and do his lines or her lines. That's the way they do it now, and it hasn't been explained to me why they do it that way now. But I miss the camaraderie of working with everybody else in the cast in the studio.
That's incredible. Yeah, because for many of us, we've always heard that it's been more of a separate recording situation. So it's fascinating to know that back in the 80s, they gathered you into a single room. So that's awesome, and it does led credence to the whole idea that those outtakes were absolutely real, because again, a lot of us were what is this? So, okay, so we have a couple of questions if we'd like to take.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not really sure. UDY8. I'm gonna leave it at that. Tell Kim to get Bryce's cat after 7. Does anybody recognize that? I'm not sure what.
I thought that was a relative of Larry's, like messing around.
No. It looks to me like they think they're texting a friend of theirs. Tell Kim to get Bryce's cat after 7. I don't know.
It's a bit of a random. It's a random one. Okay. How's this one though? Not sure you can answer this, but it's maybe an opinion. Arasang, when Thundercats? Yeah.
Ara's a good friend of mine. Hello, Ara. Yes, she's a good friend. She comes to a lot of Comic-Cons.
That's awesome. Good to see you, Ara.
Huge fan of Thundercats.
When the Thundercats left in New Thundera, why did they leave Tigra on Third Earth?
Did we? I
guess you did.
I really don't remember that. Of course, it's only been 40 years, and I'm 112 now. My memory is shot. But why would they have left Tigra in Third Earth? I really don't know. I'm sure you guys know more about the show in terms of details than I find the fans know more about the show than I do.
That's probably true.
Every once in a while, somebody will come up and say, "Mr. Kenney, at a Comic-Con, they'll come to my table and say, I got a question for you. In episode 125, and I go, oh no, here we go. They'll say Lion-O had the Sword of Omens in his right hand when he came in, and then when he went out, he had it in his left hand. What's the deal with that? I don't know. So, but I don't know why we would have left Tiger on Third Earth. Yeah. Maybe somebody else knows, and they'll tell us.
Yeah. In the last episode of the original series of the Book of Omens, do you think it was a satisfying finale for the final episode?
Well, a lot of fans really don't. They feel they were left hanging, I think. And you know, when you record a cartoon series or a TV show series of a lot of different episodes, I don't think you start out having an exact idea of where you're going to end it. You know, because as the years go on, and it took us almost 3 years to record Thundercats, because you have to record a few and then allow time for the writers to write new episodes. And you have to allow time for the illustrators and well, back then it was animation, which now it's anime or CGI. But a lot of fans have said something about, gee, they should. I thought they were going to do this, or I thought they were going to do that, but I don't even recall exactly how it ended. But I was satisfied that that the story had been told.
Yeah, I thought it was a very satisfying ending as well.
Yeah.
Zaymot Rogue, I just want to thank Mr. Kenney for breathing life into one of my most cherished childhood memories.
Amen.
Oh, aren't you nice? Thank you very much.
We concur.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Andy says,
thank you for watching it.
100%. Andy says, when you first stepped into the role of Lion-O, did you have any idea the character would become such a cultural icon? And what was your initial vision for his voice?
Well, to answer the second part of your question first, Andy, my initial vision first, well, when I went into the studio to audition, and it was the same for everybody else, I'm sure, went in by myself, and they ask you to pick one Thundercat and one mutant to audition for. So I picked one. I thought, I'll try for Lion-O. He's the Lord of the Thundercats. He might as well be the boss, And but they said, we do not want, for the Thundercats, we do not want quote cartoon voices. We want them just a natural voice, so you can tell it's a human being. And so I just use my own voice, and it's just a little more dramatic. While I'm sitting here talking to you, I'll say, Sword of Omens, come to my hand. I Lion-O commanded. On screen, that comes off, Sword of Omens, come to my hand. I Lion-O commanded. A little more dramatic. That's about it. But it was, other than that, it was just really, really my voice. And then, in fact, in 2011, when we did the reboot, I played his father, Claudius, which worked out well because I had gotten older, of course, 20-some years older. My voice has gotten older. So I didn't have to pretend to be older and make my voice sound older than it was in the original, because it was naturally. Now, to answer the first part, did I have any idea the character would become such a cultural icon? Oh, of course not. You never know. We didn't know that when we started. We didn't know if the show was going to be a hit or not. As we started working on it, and then we would talk about things in the lunchroom and things like that, we started saying to each other, this is a good show. The writing is good. The music is incredible. The animation is great. We were like, I think it's got a shot to make it and maybe a hit series. And but you never know at the beginning. There are too many other things that can happen. You can have the greatest actors and greatest scripts and the greatest music and all that stuff. But if the network it's on doesn't give it a good time slot or doesn't promote it, especially at the beginning, and really, really push it hard, it may not be as popular as it was. So, yeah, I hope that answers Andy's question.
Absolutely.
This is a really interesting one. Do you still have some collections or memorabilia from when you did the original Thundercats or Silverhawks?
Sure. 1 second. Sure. Look at that.
Oh wow! I love that.
That's my little desk Lion-O. I have a big one like this coming. I mean, I have it, and then a gentleman I met at a recent Comic-Con, I forget his name, doggone it, makes these statues like 20 inches high and higher that look like bronze statues, but they're actually fiber, whatever. And he's making me one of those. And do I have any other?
Do you have anything from the original? Like, do you have animation cells or anything like that from the original production?
1 second. If I drop this.
Oh wow! Yes.
The gauntlet.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
That is a beautiful piece. I saw when the artist gave that to you online.
That was Jason Scott Parnell.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
Jason Todd Parnell.
Jason Todd, yeah. And Larry, I also did one of these, and I gave it to you at a con.
What was?
I gifted you one of these at a convention here.
Oh yes, yes. Oh, there it is. That's the one.
Yeah, no, it's crazy because it's very. You've inspired so many of us, whether it's to be who we are today. You know, obviously for me, one of the things I've always wanted to do is share my passion and love for the Thundercats brand, but also in the creative arena, I've been able to do things in sort of a official capacity for the Thundercats brand, and there's still things that haven't been revealed yet that I've been participating in, and it's really exciting. And you know, it's things like this where I know you hear stories all over the place of people that probably tell you, "Oh my God, you know, Thundercats changed my life," or "Thundercats saved my life."
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to be talking to Peter Lawrence actually this Friday, and you know, he's also been very like humble and very happy about the fact that, you know, Thundercats has touched so many people's lives. You know, I tell Mega J and everybody I talk to all the time that you are such an amazing and such an incredible human being, not only because of who you portrayed and your achievements in life, but you take the time every year to wish me a happy birthday on Facebook, and things like that are such wonderful things because, you know, you have a family, you're busy, and for you to take the time to sit there and just type in "Happy birthday, Jorge," like that means so much to me. You know what I mean? It's like my 8-year-old self is just coming out again when I read those words on Facebook. So you, sir, are a stand-up human being, and you know, absolutely love talking to you all the time. Obviously, we have a lot of other people here that have some great questions. So, did you have another one, Jay? That
yeah, we'll do a few more, and then we'll get back to the topic. Ropig says, Ropig John says, was Larry ever contacted by Nacelle to do anything voice related with the new Silverhawks animation?
No, I have not been, and I didn't even know there was some new Silverhawks animation.
It was up and down for a while. I think it's back in development right now. So you might be contacted soon, Larry. You never know.
That'd be good. I play bluegrass on Silverhawks.
Yeah,
right?
That'd be great. Yes, of course.
Snarf wants to say hi.
Snarf just wants to say hi, and thank you so much for everything you do.
Oh, well, thank you. Oh, Snarf of Thundera.
Snarf of Thundera, yes. And I think we'll take this one, and then we'll go back to our discussion.
Okay.
The Real Skeletor says, Mr. Kenney, what was your fondest memory of being Lion-O? Favorite memories or episode that stands out the most?
Well, the episode that I usually answer that question with was one of the 2 or 3 first episodes, because Lion-O was still a boy then. I think he was supposed to be 9 years old or something like that. As you guys know, he didn't grow socially because he was in that sleep mode all the way from Third Earth, you know, from Thundera to Third Earth, and so I found it a little bit of a challenge to play Lion-O as a 7 to 10-year-old boy. But again, they didn't want any cartoon type, voices. So I just tried very hard to make my own voice, sound like, with things like, gosh, Snarf, I don't know if I can be Lord of the Thundercats. I mean, gee. Then he would say, you can do it, Lion-O. But that's what I remember most is hoping I can make myself sound enough like
you still got it, Larry.
You nailed it. You totally nailed it. You even nailed Snarf, man.
Snarf.
All right, guys. So I guess there are still many more questions, but let's get back to the discussion.
Okay, I'll try to shorten my answers so that we can get them all in. I tend to ramble on. I know, and I'm sorry about that.
So I wanted to share here. This is what you were talking about, Larry.
Yeah.
This is the limited edition signed Thundercats, the book. So this is basically kind of like the Dungeon Master's Guide.
Yes.
In Thundercats, but in the Thundercats world. So this is basically it's got an exclusive cover and it has a signature by you. So that's really awesome.
That's
basically
that's 247 pages, I think it is. That's kind of the rule book, isn't it? Kind of the overall rule book of the game, the story.
Correct. Yeah. It's a skeleton. It's the endoskeleton of the world, and the rules and the characters, the factions, all the different creatures that you can encounter, characters you can play. Yeah, it's a really interesting narrative as far as Thundercats is concerned. And again, like I mentioned at the beginning, it's interesting because it's an expansive look at the narrative that we were introduced to in the 80s, where this is taking it a little bit further. I don't know if you've had a chance to read through the new comics, but there's a lot of changes that have been done. Like, are you familiar with Apex? Do you know who Apex is?
No.
So Apex is like a dystopian future version of Lion-O.
Oh,
and
really?
And it's crazy because he has the lamb chops, like Wolverine.
Yeah.
But then he's missing an eye, and he's actually replaced his missing eye with the actual eye of Thundera.
Oh my God!
He took it out of the sword and popped it in his skull. So it's pretty crazy, but the folks at Dynamite Comics have really pushed the envelope as far as the storytelling and the narrative and stuff like that. So it's definitely going to be interesting to have those kinds of elements come into play in this role-playing game, because it's very different. It's not just the stuff that we were introduced to in the 80s.
Although that's still the basics of it. It's still, you still recognize the Thundercats and
absolutely. Yeah, that's the foundational the story. So let's see if we have any other questions here, because we got Devil P. Mark says Thundercats were definitely a huge part of my childhood, and when Lion-O raised his sword and said Thundercats ho, that was such an exciting moment because I know the Thundercats would kick butt.
That's right. You're darn right we would. Yeah, that's so many people come up to my table and if I meet them on the street or something and say something like that, like, you were my childhood hero, or meaning Lion-O was, and a lot of people say you were the voice of my childhood, not just because of Thundercats and Silverhawks and Tiger Sharks. But I was pretty much everywhere on TV in the 70s and 80s with commercials. I was the voice of Count Chocula for 40 years and the voice of Sonny the Cocoa Puffs bird for 40 years.
Yeah.
Yahoo! Cocoa Puffs! I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I almost forgot my line.
Oh, no, the one that's been the most iconic in the most recent years to me have been your Skittles commercials.
Oh,
because those things are pretty wild.
Feel the rainbow, taste the rainbow.
Yeah, I love the Skittles commercials, man.
I just did one a couple of weeks ago. They must be planning on using it in Latin American countries because of the thing. It was Fuego the rainbow, taste the rainbow. Fuego.
Oh, really? Fire. That's awesome.
Well, I think it's probably a new spicy one. I probably shouldn't say that. It might not be true, but Fuego the rainbow. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Let's see. Our son says, if you have to choose your favorite role between Lionel and Bluegrass, who would be better? Oh my God, come on. I could answer that question.
Ara, you know that, Ara. Lionel, of course. I love doing Bluegrass too. He was a lot of fun. The thing I loved about doing Bluegrass is that he was just so laid back. I mean, there was not one episode where I ever, as I recall, where as Bluegrass I had to stand up and shout or do a Thundercat solo or anything like that. He just says, he just sit there and teach Copper Kid what you need to know to get through life, and he said, "Watch this, kid," and he played his guitar, and the notes would fly out of it. That was his secret weapon. So, but I still think that any great memories of voicing Bluegrass? She asks now. Not really. I mean, when you're there, doing the job, and it is a job, it was a wonderful job, but you're concentrating so much on putting out a quality product, and being a professional and all of that. Although there are outtakes, we goof around somewhat, but mostly it's, it's something you got to make sure you do, mess up. So I don't recall any moments or memories of voicing Bluegrass, except that I recall that it was so easy to do, Hey kid, how you doing? Where's the money?
And you guys did group recordings for Silverhawks as well, correct?
Yes, we did. Yeah. We were always in the same studio at the same time.
Here's a really good question. It says, which is the most important value of the Code of Thundera? Truth, honor, justice, or loyalty?
I don't think there is one that stands out by itself. I think you have to put all those things together. That's why it's a code. It's just it's not just one thing. And frankly, without honor, justice, or loyalty, what good is truth? And without truth, what good? I'm saying? I don't mean to be a philosopher here, but it seems to me they all go together. They're all equally important. In other words, you're not a good Thundercat if you tell the truth, and but you don't do the other things. Nah, you got it all of them.
So Larry, I know that we're kind of limited on time here with you, and we really are super grateful for you taking the time to talk to us. I wanted to ask you, as we begin 2026, we're just curious as we're making our plans for the year, where will you be traveling to this year as far as conventions are concerned? And are you hopefully coming down to South Florida?
Probably. I usually get to Florida once every year. My friend Irving Santiago down there. And, yeah, I've been to his show almost every year.
So UltraCon is probably on the map for you this year then?
Probably. I didn't go this year because I'd been there 2 or 3 years in a row. And, you have to give other places a chance to, and I figure if you go there 3 or 4 years in a row, the people who live there, those who really want to come see you, they will have come the year before or whatever. But I don't have any dates here. I was about to look at my calendar, but I do know that in March I'm going to. Where did he say it was? My agent called me the other day. I don't want to give any specific places and dates now because I don't really have my calendar set, But I will be doing probably 6, 7, maybe 8 Comic-Cons. That's what I do normally every year. Some guys do a lot. Some actors do a lot more than that, but I'm 112 years old and it's hard to travel. So I still love doing it, but
you're so modest, Larry. Guys, we really want to thank Mr. Larry Kenney for spending some time with us today. And don't forget, guys, that the Kickstarter is still ongoing. How many days do we have left? How many hours do we have left, JP? It's
as of right now,
coming up really soon.
I think.
We have 70 hours left to go.
70 hours to go.
Yeah,
now
just over.
Their
just
goal,
over 3 days. Yeah, just over
their
3 days.
Original, I believe their original goal was $1,200.
They have smashed.
$242,000. That's insane.
Incredible. Congratulations, Larry. Like congratulations to the whole team, everybody who's involved in this. What an incredible milestone. And it truly shows JP and I had mentioned this the other day. It truly shows that Thundercats really has transcended pop culture and is truly part of the mythos of children everywhere. and all of us who've grown. You can see just from the comments. I mean, Larry, people are just so enamored by everything that you've done that people remember you and love everything that you've done for the community. So we are very, very touched and grateful that you've decided to spend some time with us. And again, guys, continue to support the Kickstarter. And of course, we want to thank our special guest, Larry Kenney, for joining us. Larry, do you have any special messages to everyone out there who has been watching and of course has been part of and you have become part of their childhood for so many years?
Well, yes, to each and every one of you who's a fan, thank you so much. I mean, like I said earlier, who would have thought 40 years ago that I'd be sitting here talking to you guys tonight about Thundercats, or that there would be new, toys and action figures, and now this incredible board game. Thank you all from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate it, and nothing makes me feel better than when one of you comes up to me at a Comic-Con and says something about, you were the voice of my childhood or something like that. Now, you don't have to come up and say that, but I mean, when it happens, it makes me feel great.
Yeah. So, Larry, I got one last request for you, sir. We usually close this show with our Thundercats ho.
Oh, good.
But today, sir, you have center stage. You're gonna close this out with the iconic Thundercats ho call.
Okay, you can join me if you like. Everybody out there, you ready? Now,
ready.
Let me just tell the fans out there, because some people don't realize it's 3 thunders first. Thunder,
Yes.
thunder, thunder, then Thundercats ho. So it goes
right.
like this. You ready? Thunder,
Yes.
thunder, thunder,
Thunder.
Thundercats
Thundercats.
ho!
Oh,
That is the best one.
That was close.
That was incredible.
That's why they kept us all in the same room at the same time. So
You still got it, Larry. You still got it.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Nice talking to you. Thank you.
It has been incredible.
Thank you, sir. You have a
all the
wonderful
messages
evening.
pouring in. Thank you so much, Larry. You really are truly an icon in all of our eyes, and it has been
nice. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Have a good night.
Take
Thank you, everybody, for joining us.
Bye-bye.
Guys, thank you again. It's been an absolute pleasure, and huge shout out. Guys, Happy New Year, and please continue to support the Kickstarter, and we will see you guys next time. Thundercats ho, everybody. Take care.